everyone, this is Joseph Propati, designer of Dungeon Hack the Dice game, and to continue on with our instruction videos, this video I'll be covering casting spells using the spell book. So this is the original method of casting spells as opposed to this possible new method of using spell cards. So this is something I want to show because there's a lot of questions on how this actually works. Where do the dice go? Are they locked? What do you do with the dice after you cast, and what do you need to cast? So I'm going to explain all that, and what I'll be doing is I'll be going kind of through a mock playthrough, few rounds or maybe a couple turns, just to get the idea of how spells work and how you cast them. So I have it set up at the start of a brand new game. But he's level 1. We've got level 1 Cleric Apprentice Blessing card and our level 1 spell card. Now, the level 1 spell card, the wizard starts out with level 1, and then once he reaches level 2, obviously you flip over your character card, and then you add both spell books. Because once you are at 2nd level, you now have the ability to cast from both spell books, not just the single level 1 player spell book. So you'll notice there's 5 spells on level 1 and 4 on level 2. All of them available, like I said, but once you get to only when you get to level 2. So in this one, we're going to start with level 1. Have our regroup card. So what we always do first is, start of a turn, we draw a tile card. So we'll draw a dungeon tile, quarter. We have our red arrow, and I explain this in doors, but so we have a door first, so we plop our door down and roll our dice. We don't get to see what else is in the dungeon until we get past that door. So we have our results. We've got a random monster, a couple of healing hands, 1 blessing, sword, book, magic, and mace. So again, we need either 2 mace, 2 swords, a mage hat, and a spell book, which we have. So we can use these 2. This gets us through the door, so we've used open locks, so to speak, with the magic user. So we'll put that over there. These go in the regroup. And remember too, once you open this door, you've surprised the monsters and you're in the room, so you now draw your 2 monster cards. We've got our dire rats and our giant spider, and you deal with the dice that you have already rolled. So now with the spells, the original version of the game and the main rules as it stands now, you place the dice on the spell card. So you can place cubes or your dice in the action icons for the spells that you want to cast. So we don't have any spell books, we don't have any shields, we don't have a hood. We do have the healing hands, but we don't have anything to discharge. So right now we're just going to do a normal attack. So I can't do damage, so I'll roll initiative for these 2 guys. So as long as I roll 2 or less, they get the initiative. 4 and 5, so we will get the initiative. So let's do 1 damage there with the sword. Now with this new character, we can convert healing hands. So I'm going to put 1 here to get ready for the next possible attack for Shocking Grasp if I roll a spell book. And then I'm going to convert this to a mace, because 2 mace cause 2 damage. So we are going to put the 2 mace on the spider and destroy the spider. That automatically gives us victory points. This 1 damage from the sword brings it down 1. Do we have anything else that can actually kill this rat? No. So, I'll put this on here. But see, the thing about this is you're locking up dice. This means if I put these on here, I now only get 5 dice to roll. And this is kind of what brought about changing the new rules for spells and spell cards. So I'm going to keep this one, but I'm going to try and get a spell book. So we'll go into the next round. Well, we'll have him attack first, sorry. So the rat attacks. It's a 1d6 or 1d3 plus 1. So roll a 1, so 2 points of damage. There were only 2 there, so 1 point of damage, 2 points of damage to the front. We spread that out to the front line characters. Remember, there was only 2 that started, so 2 or less damage always goes to the frontline characters. And there's a chance for disease, so we'll roll and roll to 3, which you need a 1 or 2, so no disease. Alright, so now we'll go to the next round. Here's some good results. Alright, so now we have the campfire, 2 wizards spell book, and so now we've got some options here. We can do attack initiative. So what we would do is here we'd have our wizard or our thief's hat, wizard's hat, or thief's hood, wizard's hat. So now these are on here. As long as I have a spell book on the wizard, I can cast the spell. It doesn't matter right now with initiative, because if I have a spell, spells are always going to supersede rolling for initiative. Spells are faster than the possibility of who's attacking first. So what we're going to do is I have the ability to cast this spell because I have a book here. So I will cast attack initiative, which means party wins the attack initiative this round. So I get to attack first, don't even roll for initiative, which is great because I have my 1 sword, put it on the rat, and that kills the rat. Now, is there anything else I can do? We do have, I mean, even though this was used and placed on here for the spell casting, you can still use it. It's still usable. So it just has to be here to cast the spell. Just like this healing hand, it could, if you want to, it's not locked, so you could put it in the reroute to re-roll for next round. But I still have these dice available to roll, or I mean to do something with, but there's nothing else I can really do, and we've killed our 2 monsters, so we've made it past my little character this room. So we'll go ahead and take everything off, put it in the regroup, and we'll draw another tile. There's nothing else we can do. So we will pick a quarter room. There's no door to get past, but we instantly have 2 monsters. So we'll draw 2 monsters, a dire rat, and a giant spider. Ooh. Okay. So we look and see, we have a door, so we'll put our door out, and that's blocking a treasure. But remember, anything behind the door you don't draw yet, because we haven't gotten through it yet. So we have to get through that, and we have to get through the monsters if we want to get to the treasure. Alright, so let's roll our dice. Okay, right off the bat we have 2 camps. So we put those on, that goes to 2, these go on regroup. We have a wandering monster, and then we have our action dice. Shield and a hood. Now, I don't have a spell book, so even if I had the available icons or actions to do a spell, it's not going to do me any good. So there's no chance of getting initiative. So what we'll do is roll for initiative, because I can do damage. So again, the two monsters roll 2d6s. They roll their level or less, which not good for them. They didn't get initiative, we get the initiative. Now these are both bad. One causes poison, one causes disease. So I do have the ability with these two mace to get rid of one of them. And I think I'll get rid of the spider first. So that goes in the regroup, spider, and we'd be taking our victory points as we'd be killing monsters, plus the, I was forgetting to do levels, but the mace killed that one. I think the last turn it was the fighter that took both out. So you gotta remember to always mark down your experience. Now the thief has 2 daggers. The daggers are only gonna work if there's 2+ monsters. So since we're in the back row, 2+, we need 3 or more monsters to be able to use our daggers. We can't re-roll them. But we do. No, because we killed the one. You need to have, when it's 2+, you need to have the 2 monsters out to make the attack. There's only 1. It's a little different than, it started out with 2. Now, we were in that round, so they can use these daggers because we started out with 2. If it was killed on the last round and we started this with 1, it wouldn't work. So we had our 2 or more. So these would give 1 point each. That would knock this out. And we've killed our 2 monsters. Now, do I have anything to get through the door? I can place that there. Put this off to here, and we will re-roll. Let's see what we get to get past the dungeon door. Alright, so we got another camp, healing hand, sword, mace, and sword. So we can do it. We got our 2 swords, and that will get us past the door. And then we get to draw our treasure, and since we're in the room, we automatically get the treasure. And we've killed all the monsters, we've got our treasure. Is there anything else we could do? We can do a healing hand, so we'll heal up the cleric, and the fighter was the one that killed it, so we'd give him the experience. That goes to regroup, and it goes off. This would end the round, which would end the turn. Everybody would get their heal up too, but since they're first level, that's where they max out at. They don't max out at 15 until they get to 2nd level. And that would be a round. So I'll do one more real quick one. We'll get to a junction. So we'll start a new turn. Everything gets put in a regroup. We're going to continue this way. And in this turn, I'm not going to deal with the quest because it's just kind of explaining spells. But we have a trap and 2 monsters, since they're all within the door. And a treasure, which we don't look at yet. So we're in here. We're not going to be doing the... oh, we could, but we'll see what happens. So we have our quest monster. We'll pretend like we had the quest. So now we roll all of our dice to start the turn. Now we could put the door out, because there is a door, and just to show that it's there available if we want to get through there, but we also have this other route that has no door. So okay, so now we can do damage. I don't have the ability to cast any spells. I mean, I might, let's put our action dice out. We have a hood, our 2 hands, camp. Okay, so we know we can do damage, so we know we're going to have to at least do initiative, roll for initiative. But can we do any spells? I do have a spell book, so if I have the available action dice to place on the spell book, I could do a spell. I don't have a wizard's hat. Let's see here. But change the face of any one unlocked dice. Now I could use a healing hand and a mace, right, and change the face of a die. If I can change the hood or one of these dice to a mage's hat, let's see which ones we got. I kind of want to keep that. Here we go. Alright, so I've used this ability where it's the mace and the healing hand change the face of one unlocked dice. Since these aren't unlocked, I'm going to change that to mage's hat. Now I can put this on here, and now I can cast a spell, which is attack initiative. We win attack initiative, which I really need because I can do the damage. So we will cast, because we have our spell book, we'll cast attack initiative. We win, so we won't even bother rolling for initiative. I have 2 swords that can do damage, so I will get rid of this. Let's see here. I can bring him down to here, but I've got too many. So I'm gonna use the 2 swords on here to get rid of the goblin. 2, and he would get the experience. So it's gonna regroup. Then we have the bow and arrow that can be used from the back. We'll use that on the Sturges. That's 1 point of damage. And the thief would get that. That goes in there. And then we have the healing hand. So I can convert a healing hand to a mace, but I need 2 to cause damage. So, let's just put... If this could have been put on here, but we could put it here or put it here for the roll. We don't have to go through the door right now, but we do have to deal with the trap. But I don't have anything to put in the trap. So what we'll do is we'll just use these. And now it's the Minotaur's attack, which he does a d6 plus 2. He rolled a 3, that's 5. There were 3 monsters, so we will spread it around all 4 characters. So we have 3, 4, 5. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how you spread out damage when it's the whole party. If it was just 2, you'd go 1, 2, 3, 4. So like this. So let's say there was just the 2 characters. You'd go 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's how you'd spread it out with 2 characters. But we're going to be spreading it out with 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's the Minotaur's attack. He has a special attack, which is Claws and Horn on a 1 or 2 on a 6. Rolls a 3. Whew, saved. Now that would be his attack. We've done our attack. Didn't do anything. End of the round. This trap is going to move. And we are done with this round. So we would go to the next round. We roll our dice. Let's put this up there. Alright, so we have random monster. And we'll do spellbook, shield, page. Alright, so now we got a chance to do some damage. Can I do some spells? Can we do some damage? Yes. Since a mace can be converted to a prayer hand, if we use a spell book and a prayer hand, that's 2 points of damage. But by using 2 mace, we can already do 2 points of damage. We need something a little different, like put to sleep. Now we can, oh, that's even better. 1 monster is put to sleep. Turn over the monster card. Perfect. So we'll do a mace, and we'll do a mage book. We have our mage book here, so we'll cast this, sleep spell. Those get in regroup. One monster is put to sleep. Turn over the monster. Alright, so he will not get to attack, but we can still cause him damage. Alright. So we're going to do 2 points of damage with sword, so that's 1, 2. Then we need to deal with this trap, or we're going to be hitting some damage. So we do have 1 shield. Don't have any hoods. That's going to affect us. So what we'll basically have to do is convert this to a hand. Doesn't have to be. The hand doesn't have to be on the dice. It's not an automatic swap. So if you're going to take a mace, you can turn it into a hand and do 1 heal. Let's see. We could do a web spell. 1 monster is held. Yeah, there we go. We'll do Mage's Hat and a Shield. We still have our spell book. We can cast that on there. Now that means he will be locked up for 2 rounds. Even though he will wake up next round, he'll be locked up. So, and when they're locked up in a way, they can't attack. So let's see, we may just be able to get this guy. So he's not going to attack. The end of this round, we'll basically put this here. We'll put a marker on here that shows we've got 2 rounds. This is going to come off, so it will take unavoided 1 damage to both frontline characters. So these guys both take a damage, and then we take this off. He will, on the next round, so we start the next round, he will awaken, but he's in a web. So he's got 1 more, so this round he's got 1 more round. So let's roll. Ooh, so we got a random monster. That never helps. Spellbook, daggers, hood, another hood, 2 mage, and a dagger. Okay. So we still got our 2+, so the daggers could be used. Those each cause a damage. He is not going to be attacked, but he can still roll initiative. So we'll roll for him. Rolls a 5, so he doesn't get to attack. So let's just do our damage. 2 wizard's hats can do damage, but I think also these guys can do damage. 1 point. That's only 2 points together, but we can get another point from here. So this will all work. We'll be able to clear it all out. So we have 2 points of damage here. Puts it here. Another damage from here. So he's dead. A damage from here. And he will get to attack. So we have 1 to 3. So that's rolls a 4. So that's 2 plus 1, 5. 3 points of damage. And since there were 2 there, 1, 2, 3. 3 points of damage. Because 2. Oh, no, actually. We originally had. Well, start of this round, we had 2. Because we only had the 2. So yeah, just going to be the front line. And then that we would, clear up, do the ticket. So that's kind of how spells work with the original rules and laying dice on the spell card. They're not locked, but you do need a spell book to cast the spell, and the spell book is not locked. So, and remember, this is, since it's not locked, and although it's used for the spell, once you've cast your spells, you could use it for something else. It has to be here to cast your spells. And then if you wanted to, if you had no more spells, you could use it for here, or you could put it on a spell book. It's really up to you. But you have to have a spell book to cast the spell. That's very important. As long as that's there, any icons or any dice that are on here that fulfill the requirements of the spell, you can cast the spell. And then once the spell's done, and there's nothing else you can do here, go ahead and use this for something else. You can put it on the spell book or use it for getting through the door. It's really up to you. So that's casting spells using the original rules or the main rules that apply right now. And if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment section or below the video. And I hope this was informative and explained how you can use casting and the spell book. Thanks a lot.